Right, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about some artist drama. Now, if there's ever a situation that I can say for an absolute fact is definitely not my forte, it's this one right here. Like, I don't know what it is, but I've just never been able to draw. And I get it, right? I've never really practiced it, so that's a big reason. But just genuinely, even the most, basic stuff, I can't do it. Like, even drawing, a circle or just a little line. It goes all over the place. I think I just have terrible coordination. That's kind of the conclusion I've came to here. But I guess that does mean that I'll never be involved in a situation like this, because today we're talking about plagiarism. And if someone tried saying that a drawing I did was copied from someone else, that would be a big insult to the person that I've apparently copied. Right, but either way, let's get back on track here, right? So there's a couple of people you need to be aware of. The first one being Joseph Scott, or as his username says, Joseph Scott Art. The second person you need to be aware of is Tyler Shelton, or Shelton Art Co. So recently, and by recently I do mean about 2 weeks ago at this point, I'm a little bit late, but either way, recently Joseph posted a video with a caption that says, "Revealing my art to all my 47 followers, am I Delulu to think I can make a living off of a painting?" It's got some music in the background, so I'm going to mute it, but we can play the video here, and he shows a painting that he's done here, and he goes on to say that this is his first ever painting. So Joseph posts a video, and then not long after, I guess Tyler Shelton saw it, and he wasn't very happy. The main reason being, he feels like his work had been copied. So just an example of some work that Tyler Shelton has done. This is one of them here. This kind of the closest one I could really find, with just the style of the hair and just the overall style of it, right? It is similar. Another example of one that's similar is this one right here. Similar art style, also sat down playing an instrument. And as we'll later find out, this is because Joseph is heavily inspired from Tyler's work. He says this himself. But in the original video that Joseph posted, he doesn't mention Tyler's work, and Tyler wasn't very happy about this. So he went to Instagram on his story and said, "We have an imposter on TikTok, please go rip his ass to shreds." So a couple of things off the bat, right? I get that if you feel like your work has been copied, that can be very frustrating, I understand that. But there's definitely a better way to go around it than going to your Instagram story and just telling everyone to go rip his ass to shreds. Basically telling everyone to go and send him a bunch of hate. I think maybe go and have a conversation first, right? And even if he actually wanted to post his own response, kind of saying that this person has copied their work in his opinion, then that would be fine too. But to actually specifically go out your way to tell people to go and send him hate instead of just giving your opinion and then maybe also telling people not to hate, that's just a bit too far. Now Joseph saw Tyler's story and decided to respond in a video, which now actually has 4.5 million views.
So my favorite artist posted on his Instagram in front of hundreds of thousands of followers to go to my post of my painting and rip my ass to shreds. After he'd seen my video and commented that I'm basically ripping his style off, I literally responded, "Hey, I've been a fan of yours for a while. This is the first painting I've ever done. Heavily inspired by your work. Sorry if I ripped off your style. Want to be an artist just like you." He responded pretty distastefully, "Do your own painting. As of now, you're not an artist."
So yeah, like I said before, Joseph says himself that he was inspired by Tyler's work. He said that in his reply, right? And being a fan of yours for a while, this is the first paint I've ever done, heavily inspired by your work. I'm sorry if I ripped your style off. I honestly love your work, and watching you and Terry Urban created a spark in me to start painting. So he's very open in the fact that it is heavily inspired. Obviously, the problem here is if it was heavily inspired, you kind of got to credit, right? It's similar with many different things that people post on TikTok, right? Whether it's a DIY project or even a dance of some kind, right? If it's a dance that someone else created, usually you see these people give credit. Now there is a big debate going on whether Tyler was the first person to do this art style in the first place, right? We'll see that in the comment section. A lot of people just claiming that it's not original. Again, art's not really my thing, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But I think either way, Tyler picked the worst way to respond to all of this, and it's just completely backfired, right? Because again, if he just posted something that was kind of saying "Oh, I feel like this is pretty inspired by me, maybe I should get some credit," I don't think there would be any backlash. But because of the way he responded, telling people to go and rip his ass to shreds and all this stuff, it's completely backfired, and as we'll see, the vast majority of people are on Joseph's side. Even this response, where he kind of starts off nice, and I do appreciate that. If it's real, I appreciate it. This is 100% my painting. But then goes as far to say, "As of now, you're not an artist." It's just kind of belittling him, you know? Now, Joseph goes on to explain that this is the first painting that he's done. Also mentions again that he is heavily inspired by Tyler's work.
As of now, you're not an artist. So here's the thing. I'm a brand new painter. I have always been into art as a kid, drawing, and I've always done music. I used to play in bands, touring the world, and have lived in Los Angeles for the past few years, writing music for other artists and things like that. So I've always been into art in one way or another. I came across Tyler's art on TikTok like probably a year ago, and other artists, you know, Terry Urban, bunch of artists within this same kind of style. I just love this style of art.
And he even says that he does agree that it does look very similar
to work. And if you saw my video, yeah, like it looks very similar to his work because it's inspired by him fully. It was my first painting though. And I don't know anything about the etiquette within the painters or artist world. I didn't think I needed to credit some guy that to me was a big artist, established artist. I didn't even think it was even close to as good as his work. You know what I mean? Like, I really just didn't.
Now, at this point in the video, Joseph goes on to explain that he apologizes to him, they actually did speak, it seemed like everything was okay, but then Joseph actually listed the painting on Etsy, and he told Tyler about this, said that he would like split the profit. Tyler, again, doesn't seem to be happy with that, and actually blocked Joseph.
But with that being said, like, you know, people were showing a liking to it. Clearly he thinks it is too close for comfort, so yeah, and I thoroughly apologize for that. So he has me blocked on everything now. We did talk in private. It was cool. And then I listed the painting on Etsy because people were asking me if they could buy it. And to pay homage to him and credit him, I named the painting Not Tyler Shelton. It's literally his name in the painting. And I mentioned to him that I was planning on splitting the profit with him. Just blocked me, no answer. I was like, all right, that's cool.
And then Joseph ends the video by telling people not to go and send Tyler hate.
What to say is, you know, for everybody commenting on his stuff now, standing up for me or whatever, just talking shit about him, don't do that. We don't need any of that. I'm sure he's a good guy. He just, you know, they probably caught him off guard. And, you know, he's, you know, in the art world, maybe what I did is not cool. I didn't know that. I'm learning as I go. And I plan on continuing to make art, continuing to be inspired by artists that I see too.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, after Joseph posted this video, the vast majority of people were on his side. There's a lot of comments here with like 50,000 likes that says, as if Tyler Shelton was the first to paint in that style. The entitlement is honestly so off-putting. Another comment here that says, in quotation marks, as of right now, you're not an artist. Man, fuck Tyler Shelton, what the fuck? Another comment saying, go tell him to stop ripping off Jack Penny. Now, this is the name that I've seen brought up a lot. A lot of people claiming that Tyler copied Jack Penny, or just that Jack Penny did it first. Now, I did take a look at Jack Penny's work, and I mean, first of all, it's expensive. I mean, for example, this painting right here is £16,800. But yeah, you can kind of see a style right here. The characters, if you will, kind of look like a similar style. I think what I've seen, Jack Penny doesn't use as like vibrant colours as what I've seen Tyler use. But yeah, like I said, this name's been brought up a lot. Now, over on Tyler's videos, the comments are still on Joseph's side. There's a lot of comments like this one saying, do you credit your work to Jack Penny? I prefer Joseph Scott's style more. Keep practicing. One day you may be as good as him. Bro tried to get his fans to bully a new artist and ruined his image in the process. Now, there is some people that are more on Tyler's side. I've seen a few videos kind of giving their opinions, and I guess the majority of people that aren't on Joseph's side, I think that's a better way of putting it, are basically saying like what Tyler did in terms of telling people to go after him is wrong, but a lot of people point out the fact that they do think he should have got credit. I mean, there's a video here by a user called Miley Talks Too Much who goes on to say that Joseph knows what he's doing and it feels like a marketing ploy.
Joseph Scott. Now, here's why I think Joseph knows what he's doing. Because I left a comment from my bigger account on one of his videos saying essentially like, hey, I kind of was on your side that this was more of an inspiration thing, but then I noticed that you really mimicked Tyler's style down to his signature. Even the signature's identical. So that's why I feel like this whole thing feels more like a marketing ploy / a little bit sus.
Yeah, so just on the signature, we can actually see a side-by-side on screen right now of the work, right? And the signature being in the bottom corner. Yeah, they do have a similar way of doing the signature, right? Like the very straight lines, if you will. It's like bold, blocky text rather than like, you know, like a scribbly signature. But again, Joseph literally said himself, right, that it was heavily inspired and he agrees that it does look very similar. Now, going back to Miley's video, she goes on to talk about how Joseph is like straight away selling the work and she feels like it's all a bit disingenuous.
Normally, if you are an artist of integrity, when you are that closely mimicking someone's style, you kind of keep that to yourself. You keep those works to yourself. You don't try and blast them all over the internet until you've maybe like developed your own style a little bit, or even your own fucking signature. Just a thought. And you know, he was trying to talk about selling it from the jump. Come on, dude. Like, I don't know. It just feels really disingenuous when you copy down to the freaking signature.
Now, one other thing that came out of this situation is that we quickly realised that there's multiple Tyler Sheltons on TikTok, because one Tyler Shelton, who wasn't involved in a situation at all, woke up to a bunch of messages saying that he shouldn't have been nasty to an artist. His username is Tyler Traitors, as you can see, Tyler Shelton, and he recently had to post a video basically saying, I am not the Tyler Shelton that you're looking for.
I am not Tyler Shelton, the fucking... So apparently some guy named Tyler Shelton is being a douchebag to other painters. So, fuck that other Tyler Shelton. I'm the better Tyler Shelton. Go check out my band Traders. I'm a cool guy.
And to be fair, he took it well. He then went on to post another video showing, like, a painting that he made.
Hi, everybody. It's the good Tyler Shelton here. The musician, not painter. But now, musician and painter. And I would like to unveil my first piece. This here is on a 9x5 brownie canvas. I like to call this one Lonesome Man. This is my first piece ever. I don't have a watermark just yet. I don't know how to do those.
So yeah, either way, that is a situation. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on who you think's in the right, who you think's in the wrong. If you think there are aspects of them both being in the right and wrong, also let me know that in the comment section down below. And I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. Also, if you're interested in some other content, me and Emily have a channel where we play games, react to reality shows, do vlogs, stuff like that. If you're interested in any of that, that's always linked in the description down below. And yeah, until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.